Action is the real starting point of all success. Napoleon Hill. 90 days. That's the time it takes to prove to yourself that you were never small. You were just distracted. It's the time it takes to break the cycle, to leave survival mode behind, to silence the voice of doubt and give birth to a version of yourself the world has yet to meet. And most importantly, it's the time it takes to start living with purpose, no longer by accident. What separates you from the life you desire isn't a miracle. It's a firm decision and 90 days of relentless action. Do you want change? Then stop looking at life as if it's in control. You are the architect, and the construction site is now. In 90 days, you can rebuild everything. Your body, your mind, your routine, your habits, your results. And most of all, your identity. Because transformation doesn't start on the outside. It starts within, in the mind, in the spirit, in the discipline of someone who chooses to do what needs to be done, even without feeling like it. Napoleon Hill once said, "Action is the real beginning of all success." And these 90 days demand exactly that, non-negotiable action. Not perfection, not constant motivation. Action, even if you're afraid, even if you're tired, even if no one believes. You don't need a year. You don't need a new degree. You don't need anyone's validation. You just need 90 days of extreme focus. But pay attention. I'm not talking about empty effort. I'm talking about intention, about entering these next 90 days as if you're going to war with everything that kept you stuck. About acting as if each day is a brick in the castle of your new life. About honoring the process. Because if you give your all in these 90 days, the world will never recognize you again, and neither will you. You'll look back and say, "This is where everything changed. This is where everything changed." Most people underestimate what they can do in 90 days. They think it's too little, that there's not enough time, that it's better to wait for the right moment. And that's why they spend years stuck in the same place, waiting, asleep, comfortable in a cycle of excuses. But those who transform the world, those who leave a legacy, know one truth. Time changes nothing. Decision changes everything. Do you want real transformation? Then engrave this into your spirit. 90 days aren't just 3 months. They are a radical identity choice. You can come out of these 90 days unrecognizable, stronger, clearer, freer, more respected, more aligned with who you were born to be. But it doesn't happen by magic. It happens through consistency. And consistency is not doing a lot once in a while. It's doing the essential every single day. It's waking up and executing, even without motivation. It's building a routine with the precision of a surgeon. It's rising with mission and falling asleep with purpose. Look to history. Henry Ford revolutionized an entire industry in short cycles. His innovations didn't take years to emerge. They came from weeks of insane focus. Because he understood, small periods of total immersion create massive waves of impact. Now imagine, if you pour your full energy into the next 90 days, if you cut out distractions, excuses, and self-deception, if you put your phone in airplane mode and your mind in war mode, you will witness things you've never seen. You'll tap into levels of energy you didn't even know you had. You'll lose weight, and not just physical. You'll shed the weight of limiting beliefs, the weight of other people's opinions, the weight of procrastination, the weight of a lukewarm life. And in its place, you'll gain vision. You'll gain presence. You'll gain spiritual strength. But be warned, it will hurt. True transformation hurts. It hurts to get out of bed when you could sleep more. It hurts to say no to immediate pleasure. It hurts to face truths you've avoided for years. But that pain has a name: evolution. Do you think Thomas Edison reached the light bulb without pain? It took over 1,000 attempts, over 1,000 failures, over 1,000 days of frustration. But he kept going, because within him already existed the commitment to the future. And that's what you must do now. Sign a silent contract with your greatness. Commit to your transformation. For real, with no turning back. Because these 90 days can be just another quarter. Or they can be the beginning of your new story. The choice is yours. But time doesn't wait. Do you want extraordinary results? Then understand a brutal truth. Life doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you tolerate. If you tolerate distraction, you'll live distracted. If you tolerate laziness, you'll reap stagnation. If you tolerate a weak mind, you'll live a limited reality. But if you decide today that you've had enough, that it ends here, that you're done, and if you put everything on the line for the next 90 days, you will watch the impossible begin to bend in front of you. Because the 90 days don't change the world out there. They change you. And when you change, the entire world changes with you. But you must be willing to do what most people won't. Say no to comfort. Shut the door on saboteurs disguised as friends. Cut off habits that numb you. Distance yourself from environments that make you forget who you are. 90 days of discipline can be worth more than 10 years of intention. You don't need more ideas. You need execution. It's not about having a perfect plan. It's about waking up tomorrow and keeping the promises you made to yourself. It's about turning commitment into a religion, focus into a weapon, and your pain into a bridge to your power. Do you think Abraham Lincoln became president by luck? No. He faced defeat after defeat, failure after failure, and still moved forward with unshakable conviction. Because he knew, the future is shaped by those who endure the present with faith. And that's exactly what your next 90 days demand of you. Faith in the unseen, respect for the process, commitment to the version of yourself you haven't become yet, but will. Now imagine this. You wake up 90 days from now with a different energy, with a new body, with mental clarity, with a new posture, with results so undeniable, the people around you can't look away. You walk into a room, and the atmosphere shifts. You speak, and people listen differently. You act, and reality responds. Not because you got lucky, but because you created it. You built it with fire in your eyes and truth in your soul. With sweat, tears, and lonely decisions. With silent nights and warrior mornings. You trained your spirit to win. And now the world is simply witnessing the reflection of who you've become. These 90 days are your rite of passage, your crossing, your reinvention, and it all depends on one choice. Right now, have you ever noticed how most people live waiting to be rescued? Waiting for a government that changes everything, a boss who finally recognizes them, a relationship that saves them, a stroke of luck that flips the script. But let me tell you something, clearly and directly. The rescue is you. No one is coming to save you. No one will fight your inner battles. No one will discipline your mind for you. Either you take the wheel, or you remain a victim of life. And that's why the next 90 days aren't just a challenge. They are the revolution. It's when you stop fooling yourself with shortcuts and start building with truth. It's when you face the mirror, look yourself in the eyes, and say, I am responsible for who I was, for who I am, and above all, for who I choose to become now. You can keep complaining, or you can turn your pain into fuel. You can use exhaustion as an excuse, or you can use it as a reminder that you're stepping beyond the comfort zone. Choose, because every day you are choosing. Even when you say you're not ready, you've chosen to stay still. Even when you procrastinate, you've chosen stagnation. And at the end of these 90 days, you'll either look back with pride, or you'll have to face yet another broken promise. But now, you know too much to keep lying to yourself. And that means only one thing. The next version of your life depends entirely on the version of you that shows up tomorrow morning. Not the version that watches videos. Not the version that dreams big but never moves. But the version that gets up and follows through. The version that takes silent action while the rest of the world sleeps. The version that builds. Do you know what your unconscious mind fears the most? Change. It wants to keep you alive, not fulfilled. It wants to repeat the familiar, even if it hurts. It wants to preserve patterns, even if they're destroying you. That's why, when you begin a 90-day transformation cycle, you'll feel resistance. Inner voices trying to sabotage you. Thoughts pulling you back to bed, to distraction, to your old version. And that's where you must choose. Will you keep identifying with this outdated programming? Or will you break free from it? Even if it hurts, even if it screams, you'll have to kill older versions of yourself. The ones that procrastinated, that settled, that made excuses. Not with hatred, but with clarity, with honor, with a farewell. Because these next 90 days aren't just about stepping up. They're about dying to be reborn. It's about becoming the kind of person who gets up without being told, who keeps their word, who vibrates on a different frequency. And do you know what's most magical about all of this? People will start treating you differently. They'll notice something has changed. They'll listen to you more closely. They'll respect you without fully understanding why. But you will know. You'll know the reason is simple. You became someone who doesn't ask, but builds. Who doesn't doubt, but executes. Who doesn't wait, but acts. That's the power of 90 days of total transformation. It's not about changing the world. It's about changing the only thing that truly matters, you. The question now isn't if you can. It's, will you? Will you endure the discomfort required to change your life? Will you sacrifice distractions for purpose? Will you silence the noise outside to hear the voice within? Will you stop playing with dreams and finally start building? Because here's the truth almost no one tells you. You don't need a year. You don't need luck. You don't need more time. You need 90 days of ruthless commitment to your own greatness. 90 days of strategic silence. 90 days of grown-up decisions. 90 days of total focus. 90 days of unseen discipline. 90 days of faith no one else will understand. And at the end of that cycle, you won't just be more productive, you'll be someone new. Because when you change your routine, you change your destiny. When you shift your standards, you reshape your identity. And when you change your mind, the entire world begins to spin differently. But this won't happen through osmosis. It won't happen because you waited for the right time. It will happen when you say, enough. Enough of living beneath what you know you're capable of. Enough of accepting a lukewarm version of yourself. Enough of repeating cycles that drain your energy and cloud your vision. The time has come. This is the line that separates dreamers from doers. Those who talk from those who act. Those who wish from those who decide. And deep down, you already know what you need to do. So stop everything now. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And declare silently to yourself, I'm ready. These 90 days will rebuild me. And if this stirred something inside you, if this fire has been lit in your soul, then you can't let it die. Subscribe to this channel now. This is the space for those committed to real transformation. No fluff, no superficial motivation, only truth, power, and inner reconstruction. Repeat button, share this video with someone you love, someone who needs a push, a wake-up call, a spark. Writing hand, and type this word in the comments right now. I decided. Yes, write it with power, with certainty, with the soul of someone who isn't turning back. I decided. Because when someone truly decides, they change. And when they change, they transform everything around them. These next 90 days could just be 3 more months in your life. Or they could be the 90 days you'll remember forever as the beginning of everything.